Hello and welcome to Ewe Sew You. My name's Zoe and this is my channel about all the crafty bits and pieces I get up to. I knit, I sew, I spin on a drop spindle, I dabble in weaving from time to time, and anything else that takes some crafty fancy really. But this week we are talking about spinning on a dealgan, a Scottish Highland spindle. So grab a brew, put your feet up and let's get started. Welcome back to any returning viewers, and to any new viewers a very warm welcome to you. As I mentioned in the introduction to this video, today we're talking about spinning on the dealgan. If you're not familiar with the dealgan, it's a Scottish Highland spindle which we know is in use around about the time of the Highland clearances, because there's been evidence of them found in the Scottish colonies in the US and Canada. So this is my dealgan. I got it from Niddy Noddy UK on Etsy. When I was looking for one, there weren't a huge amount of suppliers for them, but Niddy Noddy came through for me. This one weighs 39 grams, so it's not hugely heavy, but it's also not the lightest spindle in the world. There are some like tiny lace weight ones around. There is also another name for a dealgan. It begins with an F. It's Gaelic. I can't say it because I can't speak Gaelic, and the pronunciation's different, so I'll pop that on screen for you. So the dealgan is a tapered spindle without a whirl. So mine has this like tip at the top which I put a half hitch around. I don't know if that is historically accurate or not because I've not yet finished the research. And then it's wider at the bottom, so that stops your yarn falling off. And then on the base there's this cross groove cut in there. So for the dealgan I use a leader. Well, you'd have to use a leader to get started. So far I have been using a leader made out of commercially spun yarn, but you don't have to. You could quite easily use the fibre to make a leader like I do on the Turkish spindle. So what you need to do to start with is actually wrap the leader around the middle of your belly of the spindle. So you don't want to be too high up, you don't want to be too low down, but somewhere around where it's getting quite chunky, and wrap it around a few times. Then you're going to run it through one of the grooves on the base and back up to the top of the spindle and pop on a half hitch. Oh, which doesn't seem to want to work for me today. There we go. So then we have our spindle hanging from our leader. So with the leader yarn, I'm just going to open up the two plies and put some of the fibre between the plies of my leader yarn. Obviously if you're using the fibre that you're spinning, you won't need to open it up, you just keep spinning. And I'm going to give that a good twist. Obviously this is a bit thicker than I'm going to be spinning as we go, but it's just to get us started. You're going to have a nice grip at that beginning section of the spin. Just going to spin a good length of our new yarn, and we're going to butterfly up, take the half hitch off, unhook the leader from the notch at the bottom, wind it around the belly of our spindle. Then we're going to take the new yarn through the groove at the base and half hitch it over the top. It does take a little bit of practice to work out how much you need left as you go through the groove to bring it back up to the top, particularly as you get more yarn on your dealgan. Spin a bit more. We've got a good length, we're going to wind that on again. I do find to begin with the dealgan you do need to flick it a bit more frequently than you would with a whirled or a slightly heavier whirled spindle, but that's the case with lighter spindles anyway. Again, unhook it from the notch at the bottom, wind it around the belly, I'll keep them fairly close together at the moment as I wind them around the belly of the spindle, but obviously as I get more fibre on there, that's going to spread out a bit. Okay, so there's me started. I'm going to keep spinning on this over the next few days. I'll come back to you with a bit more yarn on the spindle, show you how I'm winding the cop when there's a bit more on there. And then obviously I'll come back again after that and show you how I remove it. So I'll see you in a bit once I've spun a bit more of this fibre up on my Dealgan. Okay, so the Dealgan is now looking pretty plump. There's a couple more little bumps to get on there, but it's nearly there. So let me just show you how I wind on. It does end up looking a little bit like an egg, but there we go. So just spin a little more, and by this point it spins for a considerable amount longer than when you start, but I'm still in the habit of flicking it quite quickly. Okay, so we're going to get a good length spun up. I'm just going to butterfly that down. Okay, now when I wind it on, I try and spread it evenly across the bump, as evenly as I can, and then I'm aiming to bring the yarn to the top of the cop and then under the cross at the bottom. It just holds it a little bit more securely when you can get it to go from the top than trying to get it to go from the bottom. So I'll show you that again. Spin a bit on. Okay, so that's a good length there. Let's butterfly it down and hook my half hitch. Okay, so we're spreading it across the length of the cop, so I'm going up and down. I'm going to keep it at the top and I've still got a bit of length left. Through the cross at the bottom and up to be half hitched on at the top. Ooh. There we go, fairly with half hitch. That's partly because my yarn was a little bit further down the cop and it was slipping a bit. It does grip a bit better when it's at the top, but you can't always manage it. So that's how I wind it on. And all that remains left is to get the last couple of bumps on, and then I can take this single off the spindle. Okay, so that's my second single finished to go with the first one. So in order to apply it, I need to take it off the spindle, which is again very straightforward with the Dealgan. So I'm just going to wrap the last bit of the yarn around the cop and just pull the spindle out, and there we go. So these need applying. You could of course stick them on a lazy Kate and apply them direct from here. I am probably going to put them into a plying ball because I just find that easier to manage when I'm plying on my plying spindle. So yeah, I hope you found that interesting and useful. And obviously, if you did, like, subscribe and ding that bell down below, like all the YouTubers tell you. I aim to post a video every weekend, so Friday, Saturday or Sunday. Yeah, I hope to see you in the next one. So until next time, happy crafting and bye-bye for now.